How does a city function today? This is primarily a constant process of ongoing changes, new construction, and transformation. How do we resolve contradictions between the preferences of urban community and space development? How do we keep up with urban dynamics and respond timely to changes? Today, megacity viability directly relates to the ability to see its own diversity and accept it. Moscow Urban Forum 2015 became a venue for the presentation of new projects and initiatives of the Moscow government aimed at the overall development of the megacity. The forum's agenda was focused on the capital's experience in urban development for the past 5 years, in particular such aspects as the use and adaptation of the best international practices for megacities, and also new projects and prospects scheduled for the immediate future. The forum brought together more than 3,000 participants, including leading Russian and international experts in urban studies and urban development. Opening the plenary session, Mayor of Moscow Sergei Sobyanin praised the government of the city for the great job they had done, frequently in a very complicated environment.
Неразрешимых проблем не бывает. Любую, даже самую запущенную ситуацию можно исправить. Любой, даже самый безнадежный негативный тренд можно переломить и изменить на позитив.
The mayor of Moscow summarized the results of the work of his team and told how the municipal programs strategically important for Moscow were being implemented. The city has been gaining momentum and holds a leading position now globally.
Еще раз спасибо, что приехали в Москву, за то, что принимаете участие в нашем форуме. Добро пожаловать в столицу России. Спасибо.
Minister for Construction, Housing and Municipal Services of the Russian Federation, Mikhail Minyi, underlined that the experience of Moscow is widely used in developing federal legislation, in particular draft law on the development of industrial areas.
Этот законопроект позволит региональным и местным властям принимать решения о реорганизации таких территорий, вовлечь всех собственников недвижимости на таких территориях в проект реорганизации, а также поспособствует развитию новых современных высокотехнологических производств, созданию современной городской среды, транспортной и, конечно, социальной инфраструктуры.
Vicente Guayart, chief architect of Barcelona from 2011 to 2015, told about the unique experience of Barcelona in building a polycentric model of the city, which Moscow might find useful being not just a big metropolitan city, but a city where every district is unique. Maurice Leroy, a permanent member of Moscow Urban Forum and a deputy of the National Assembly of the French Republic, noted how fast Moscow was turning into a smart city, developing IT for interaction with citizens and becoming a European leader in this sphere.
In my opinion, the cities of the future, the smart cities, need that we work in all areas. For us, in our vision, the future cities is a holistic vision to work in all areas in the city.
I think that our future on the city is strictly connected to technology. Of course, we need to have a very strong infrastructure, subway, highways, etc. But with all the information on technology, we can give to urban logistics, to what we need as a person, different solution, and this could be a real revolution.
A very important part of a smart city is an environment created by different online communication facilities. According to experts, electronic services constitute an extension or expansion of the megacity's physical space today, and its residents ceaselessly switch between online and offline versions of urban services. Anastasia Rakova, Deputy Mayor of Moscow for the Moscow government and Chief of Staff to the Moscow Mayor and Moscow government, informed us that 5 million people in Moscow took advantage of public services, and more than 50% of these services were made accessible to the residents via electronic channels.
но сейчас мир так быстро меняется, что нужно меняться. Вот. Так что в этом смысле гибкость значит еще собирание информации, включая информацию через социальные сети, чтобы понять вообще, что людям интересно, что неинтересно, фидбэк. Одному хочется одно, другому нужно другое. И вот проблема управления, можно ли все эти различные интересы, все эти priority сочетать. Но, наверное, из того, что, в общем-то, стало самой важной за последние 7-8 лет, это, конечно, экология, да.
We really need to have an environment where the relationship between the developer and city officials is really more like a partnership. We really think of ourselves as creating kind of new and pioneering developments. And in order to do that, we really need to have that collaboration with government officials in order to explore ideas that perhaps haven't been done before in the community.
An architectural model of the Moskva River, which demonstrated future development along the main waterway of the capital, became the central part of the exposition of new Moscow development projects. According to the concept, 39 new city centers, ports, public spaces will appear along the course of the Moskva River that would necessarily undertake a transportation function. The government and experts concur that the river is the most important component of the polycentric model of the city. The task of the following years is to make the Moskva River an active part of municipal development and to make it more accessible for the Muscovites. The phenomena of polycentrism is based on many factors. According to Alexei Novikov, Dean of the Graduate School of Urban Studies at the Graduate School of Economics, multimodal transport infrastructure and the mobility of the population results in the creation of new subcenters, urban environment density, creation of trade and entertainment facilities within walking distance.
You have the opportunity to redevelop these industrial areas. Is not give only the initiative to the developers. That city is more than this. You need to have a plan about how to develop mixed use, how to develop the economy of innovation in the city itself. So somehow the fact that you can define a model that will be good in long term is fundamental.
Marat Husnulin, Deputy Mayor of Moscow for Urban Planning Policy and Development, believes that the main driver of the polycentric model of the city is complex development of transport infrastructure and transfer hubs.
Мы в общей сложности планируем построить 169 капитальных транспортно-пересадочных узлов. Вы видите на карте вот весь город усыпан этими точками, где мы занимаемся узлами. И, конечно же, мы сформировали масштабную программу развития транспортной инфраструктуры. Ее доля достигает у нас 70% нашего бюджета. И сегодня развитие транспорта является самым главным драйвером развития Москвы.
Marat Husnulin noted that with a renovation of industrial areas and development of new Moscow, with the Moscow River's infrastructure development, the city created new points of growth and new points of attraction for the residents. This enables the rearrangement of traffic and to overcome the problems of city center congestion and uneven development accumulated for years, and thus to generate a new polycentric structure to make Moscow convenient to live and to work in.
In terms of transportation and city planning, it's very, very important that land use and real estate development be integrated with transport improvements so that we continue to have land use patterns that encourage citizens to use the existing transport system so that cities don't have to build more transport, but rather use more efficiently the existing transport system they have. And that includes roads and public transport as well.
So one of the challenges is going to be in starting to move towards a more complete multimodal system where you get a balance between car use and rail and metro systems and pedestrian and bicycle movement. You have to have a full range of modes in order to have an effective mobility system for people.
Transport preferences of Muscovites have changed substantially in the past few years. Multimodal transport services, which integrate different types of public transport, new formats of taxi services and other steps taken by the Moscow government and the Moscow City Transport Agency, in close cooperation with businesses actively developing these directions, are focused on the creation of an urban environment with the highest possible comfort level. Deputy Mayor of Moscow, Maxim Liksutov, noted at the Round Table on Transport and Mobility Issues that today's priorities of Moscow municipal transport policy are focused on the support and active promotion of new models of transport preferences of the residents, shifting the structure of budget investments in favor of public transport projects, restriction of private car use in the city center, construction of bicycle lanes, and rent-a-bicycle service. Moscow government does a lot to encourage people to replace using their private transport with a public one or with bicycles in summertime. Thus, in 2014, bicycles were rented 100,000 times in the summer period, and in 2015, leases increased 10 times to 1 million.
I was very excited by some of the plans that I saw for the new vision for Moscow, where lots of green spaces, lots of places where people are going to be walking, playing, and happy.
I can see also in my country, in Germany, how hard it is to keep a good level and a good standards, not only for the making and for the news. You know, when you make something new, it comes in the newspaper, but to keep it nice for a long time. That's a real achievement, I would say.
My Street program is the biggest public space redevelopment project throughout the history of the city. Pyotr Biryukov, deputy mayor of Moscow in the Moscow government for housing, municipal services and redevelopment, considers. The city has changed from the street for the car to the street for the people, the street as a public space philosophy. Reconstruction of streets and courtyard spaces will help clean the urban environment and improve the visual image of Moscow.
As much as we talk about technology and transformation, still at the end of the day, the biggest challenge is what do you do and how do you redevelop existing infrastructure?
I think one of the major stakes is we need to make cities still affordable for everyone, to make an inclusive city, to make sure that everyone can get access of all the amenities and qualities of the city.
The festival, visited by more than 5,000 people, became a logical continuation of the Moscow Forum's business program and open venue for meetings, discussions and exchanges of views between experts, residents of the capital and city activists on topical issues of urbanism. Guests of the festival day started with physical training provided by the Sekta Perfect Body School, and children listened to tales narrated by famous theatre and cinema actors as part of the Детское чтение children's reading project. Lectures of leading foreign urbanists and more than 10,000 workshops were conducted. Interactive installations and concerts were performed as part of the educational program. More than 12.5 exhibition spaces were arranged. I take pictures of Moscow all the time. I live here, I work here, I go on the subway, looking around. Moscow for me is always offering new visual impressions on every corner. Moscow lives in sleeping areas of the city, and in luxurious quarters, and in the historical center with a lot of tourists, and parks where grandmas walk with their grandchildren. It's a diverse Moscow. Everywhere is a different spirit. It's great. The cities are really able to change the world. Moscow Urban Forum is a unique opportunity for people of various professions and from different countries of the world to meet, discuss, share their experience and help in solving issues which every megacity faces.